Hello again. This is Elizabeth. Welcome to Auntie Lizzie's Corner. Today, I want us to decide whether it is time to buy a home or not. Do we keep renting or do we want to go ahead and buy a house? How do we make that difference or that difficult decision? If you are in the USA, we all know that mortgages can be paid 15 years or 30 years, depending on the situation at hand. Or you can pay for your house cash, and you don't have to worry about anything that the bank is going to do, whether interest or not. But even if you buy your house cash, don't forget you still be paying property taxes for the rest of your life. You can't get away with that. So how do we decide? Is it time to buy a house or should we keep renting? There are some few things I want you to consider, and that should help you make that decision. It is a commitment. Few things, which is the advantages and disadvantages of renting. When you are renting a house or an apartment and something is destroyed, they repair it for you. You don't have to worry about it. When you have your own house, sorry, you are stuck with it. You have to do the repairs yourself. You are the landlord, you are the landlady. Who are you going to tell? You have to fix it all. That is one thing. Secondly, when you have an apartment, usually they give you up to the third to pay your rent. After that, there is interest. You better pay by the first. When you have your own mortgage, you have all the way till 15th. Can you believe that? To pay your mortgage. You are not stressed as to, oh my goodness, I've not been paid on the first. I have things going on in life. How am I going to blend this and be able to pay on time? You can always pay even on the 14th and you are safe and your home will be safe. That's one advantage. But at the apartment, you have on the first. Another thing you have to consider is the price. If you have a family, like I do have a family, we are large. In that situation, how many bedroom apartment is going to kind of take us, right? Even if you look at 3-bedroom apartments, they are pretty expensive. Yesterday, I looked at one and a 2-bedroom, 2-bath was going for $2,400. I'm like, oh my goodness, that is even more than my mortgage. That is crazy. And why did I look at it like 2-bedroom apartment? That is a lot. But it's a luxury apartment. You are there, they repair everything for you. That is the price difference. If I have 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartments and I'm paying about $1,500, then I will ask myself, is that what I can afford? If I buy a real house and have a mortgage, it might cost me more, especially now that the interest rate is a little bit high. It's going to come down, but for now it is high. So what are we going to do? Then that is when you start looking at your cash flow, your fixed costs. Are you using 50 or 60% of your money to pay rent? The money you are using to pay rent, can that money get you a house? Then you think about it that way. Another advantage of having your own house is that you can take something called HELOC. Maybe we can discuss it on our next video. HELOC is just the equities that you have in your house. You can borrow that money, you can use it for business, you can use it for another home, you can use it to renovate your house, you can use it to pay your debt. So it's just the difference. You know, when you buy a house, prices increases most of the time. So the difference between the time you bought the house and now the bank will borrow you some money from the equity in your home, and that money can be used for a lot of things. But when you are in an apartment, I'm so sorry, every month the money goes to the manager. You cannot borrow from that. All they have to do is to be increasing your rent, but it's buying a home for everyone. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. If you are just by yourself, then you have to think about it. Even if you can afford it, should you buy buy and rent and become a landlord or a landlady and still live in an apartment, and maybe your rental home will be paying for the apartment that you are living in. Or you get a home and you are in the basement, or you have one home for yourself and you rent the other rooms, and they will be paying your rent and you have that money in your pocket. So those are some of the ways we have to look at it, and then you ask yourself, but for me in general, I think it is better to own your own house. There is always advantages of having that. You can leave it for your kids. You can take some loan out of that. You can make it the way you want it to be. Is it a good time to buy a house? I believe that there is always a good time to buy the house. You can buy it even when the credit is high, but you have to always keep your credit score high so that immediately interest comes down, you balance things. It is easier said than done. There are some few steps you have to take to be able to even qualify for a home. And in our next video, we'll talk about that. If you need someone to talk to about whether you should buy a house or not, you are lonely, you have no idea who to talk to, you have things on your mind, you can trust Auntie Lizzie. Contact her. She will always be there for you. Thank you so much for joining me again. Share this. Let it be a blessing to someone else. Don't forget to like, comment, let me know what you think, and share and subscribe. Thank you so much.